Welcome to Monitoring and Observe. You can find monitors from the left-hand menu, where they'll be listed here under the Monitors tab. You can create monitors from scratch, or you can use a predefined template provided by different applications, like Amazon or Kubernetes. And from here, I can search through predefined monitors, and to use a template, I'll duplicate it just like this. And I'll be brought into the corresponding monitor configuration, which most likely doesn't need to be changed at all. I could adjust the configuration and then rename the monitor, save it, and then close the configuration and traverse back to the Monitors tab. I'll see the new monitor created from a template here in my own monitors list. Now I can also create a monitor from scratch by clicking Create Monitor and see various different options for creating a monitor. So let's start with a metric threshold. And the first thing we'll do is select our metric. So I'll search for CPU utilization. Once selected, I can see various different options for helping configure this monitor. The first one we'll look at is the expression builder, where I can actually filter to specific values like a container here. I can also adjust how this data is being aggregated. I could also change the grouping. I could also add additional metrics and/or logic to this monitor. And you'll notice that above here, there's a threshold preview, which has been changing as the expression builder changes. Going a bit further, now I'll configure the trigger condition, which will actually tell my monitor to send a notification. And so when our CPU utilization metric is greater than the threshold, which is what we'll set here, but we'll look first to see if that threshold should be exceeded at all times, at least once, on average, or in total. For the CPU utilization, I'll keep at all times during the last 10, maybe 5 minutes. So my threshold again, I'll set here, which would typically be something like 80%. However, I'll notice that the CPU utilization right now is so low, it's hard for me to get a preview for when an alert would be triggered. And so I might change my threshold to a much lower value so that I can see what type of notifications would be triggered if this type of data exceeded the threshold. So these bands here define when the threshold was exceeded for that amount of time. Now I can see these notifications or events that would be triggered here in the preview of triggered alerts with the corresponding data that would have been sent as part of the notification. Speaking of the notification, that will be configured and sent through an action. We can choose predefined shared actions, or we can define one ourselves in line with the monitor. So let's choose PagerDuty. So we'll see the PagerDuty webhook URL predefined, as well as the request body that needs to be in line with the PagerDuty API definition. And within this, there is mustache templating to reference the underlying monitor data to further customize your action. So let's take a look at this drop-down menu where we can preview some of that monitor data and understand what can be referenced. Once completed with our action, we can look at the final configuration options for our monitor, which give us an option to send reminders at some interval. I won't use those for right now. And so with that complete, I can name my monitor, save it. And so now I can navigate back to the Monitors tab to see my full list of monitors and see the newest one here.